Good day, mentors. We are the group 4 and we're gonna present our assigned topic, which is digital literacy. So first, let's define what is literacy. Literacy is the ability to make sense of something, often generalized as the ability to read and write. In many ways, reading is reading, media is media, but in the same way, a play places unique comprehension demands on a reader compared to a poem or a letter. So, digital media compared to classic media forms. So, literacy is an individual's ability to read and write while understanding simple messages in any form or language. But in the 21st century, new literacies are emerging and digital media forms allow communication to be more nuanced than ever before. So what is digital literacy? So digital literacy is an individual's ability to find, evaluate, produce, and communicate clear information on digital platforms through digital devices such as Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, Twitter, as well as Google. Access. So when we talk about access to media, we're talking about the kinds of media messages we interact with and where did we read that article. It's either on Facebook or Twitter. Did we see that video on YouTube or Instagram? Access speaks to where we find and interact with media, but it also speaks to the ability of the reader to find the content in the first place. Next is to evaluate. So when you saw that article on Facebook or watched that video on YouTube, were you aware that those messages were created by someone trying to communicate something to you? So evaluate in this definition is about taking a closer look at where the media message is coming from. It is about asking ourselves who's trying to communicate this to us. Analyze. To analyze media messages means to try and make sense of the message. What is the creator trying to say to us? Act. As an audience member, after you've evaluated and analyzed the media message, what do you do with it? Buy a product, vote for a certain candidate, or share the message with others? Communicate. So, how do you share what you've seen, read, or heard with your friends and family? Do you talk to them in person? Maybe retweet or post on Facebook. Lastly is to create. So, if you create media, what is the responsibility to your audience? Essentially, being digital literate. So, you might be thinking how to become a digitally literate. So, how can we become digital literate? So a person who is digitally literate possesses the variety of skills such as technical and cognitive, which required to find, understand, and evaluate, create, and communicate digital information in a wide variety of formats. It also able to use diverse technologies appropriately and effectively to retrieve information, interpret results, and judge the quality of that information. It also understands the relationship between technology, lifelong learning, personal privacy, and stewardship of information. And we also have the skills in the appropriate technology to communicate and collaborate with peers, colleagues, family, and on occasion, the general public, and uses the skills to actively participate in the civic society and contribute to a vibrant, informed, and engaged community.
Since our world has become increasingly digitalized, and this in turn requires us to also become digitally literate to be successful in this digitalized environment, in today's world, it is a fundamental requirement to be digitally literate in order to progress in work and in life. Almost everything we do today requires us to be digitally literate. There are 4 principles of digital literacy. The first one is the comprehension, the second one is interdependence, third, social factors, fourth, cohesion. What is comprehension? Comprehension is the ability to extract implicit and explicit ideas from a media, or the ability of the readers of digital media to be able to understand its content. The second one is interdependence. How one media form connects with another, whether potentially, metaphorically, ideally, or literally. Today, the world exists in an interconnected state. Digital media consumption is now part of our everyday lives. The term interdependence reflects how one media form connects with another. The proliferation of digital devices has made it easier to consume content from different mediums. The third one is the social factors. Sharing timely and relevant data within relevant networks. Sharing is no longer just a method of personal identity or distributions, but rather can create messages of its own. Who shares what to whom through what channels can not only determine the long-term success of the media, but can create organic ecosystem of sourcing, sharing, storing, and ultimately repacking media. The last one is the curation. Storing and organizing data is accessible ways. Curation refers to finding, organizing, and saving digital media in a way that it makes easier to access and use their information in the future. How important is digital literacy? First is keeping in touch with friends and families in today's ever-increasing busy world. It is important to surround ourselves with family and friends for support and comfort in both times of joy and distress. Getting social media accounts like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and etc. help many more people keep in their lives or reconnect with those they haven't spoken to in years. Accessing online products and services. Online shopping is one of the best ways that digital literacy makes your life more efficient. Knowledge and fingertips for students, researchers, professionals alike. Educators and students alike can find valuable resources for instruction on digital learning. Employers looking for digitally savvy as workplace as well as business grow digital every day. Last, online payment and funds transfers are gaining popularity as these are efficient and faster than paperwork and cash outs. Knowing how to navigate your way through digital world is as important today as knowing how to find your way to work or to shops. Being aware of the huge quantity of information and opinion at your digital fingertips, but at the same time being able to filter this information and identify the genuinely valuable and authoritative from the uninformed and opinionated has become an important survival skill in the digital age. It is a skill that marks you out as being either digitally savvy or digitally gullible and easily manipulated.
Cyber citizenship in the digital age. Cyber citizenship takes responsibility for your role in cyberspace. Responsible digital citizenship also means behaving lawfully. For example, it is a crime to hack, steal, illegally download, or cause damage to others' people's work, identity, or property online. Protecting your privacy and that others, recognizing your rights and responsibilities when using digital media. Your role as a cyber citizen is first to use respectful and kind language. Second, treat others the way you wanted to be treated. Third, don't share private information. Fourth, don't plagiarize or steal information from the web and use as your own. The last one is follow security measure. It is very important for us to know our role as a cyber citizen because this protects our personal information, uses good judgment, and treat others with respect. Whether you are posting on social media, sending an email, or commenting an online discussion, practicing good digital citizenship makes our online world a more welcoming place for everyone. Internet safety or e-safety has become a fundamental topic in our digital world and includes knowing about one's internet privacy and how one's behaviors can support a healthy interaction with the use of internet. So I have here 4 safety tips. First is be careful on what you put on the web. Second is keep track on who you interact with on the internet. Third is know that privacy is just an illusion. Even personal information on social media or networks can be easily recovered by anyone. And last but not the least, don't open any links in emails or chat rooms that look suspicious or unfamiliar.
So now let's proceed to cyberbullying and cybercrime. So what is cyberbullying? It is a bullying that takes place over digital devices like cell phones, computers, and tablets. It can occur through SMS, text, and apps or online in social media, forums, or gaming where people can view, participate in, or share content. Forms of cyberbullying. First, let's have flaming. It is an online fight using electronic messages with angry and vulgar language. It may also occur on social media sites and YouTube. So next is harassment. It is repeatedly sending nasty, mean, and insulting messages to cause distress, humiliation, and to resilience of the target. Next is denigration. It is dissing someone online, sending or posting gossip or rumors about a person to damage his or her reputation or friendship. So the purpose of this denigration is to shift attention and blame away from the abuser onto the target. Then let's have impersonation. It is pretending to be someone else and sending or posting material to get that person in trouble or danger or to damage that person's reputation or friendships. Best example ani is to use dummy account to scam people online. Outing. Sharing someone's secret or embarrassing information or images online. If you are familiar with the issue of Wilbert and Zainab, Moto siya ay example of outing because Wilbert spread an information that makes Zainab embarrassed online. Then let's have exclusion. It is intentionally and cruelly excluding someone from an online group. And lastly, let's have cyberstalking. It is repeated, intense harassment and denigration that includes threat or creates significant fear. So now let's proceed to cybercrime. So what is cybercrime? Cybercrime is any criminal activity that involves a computer's network device or network. So here we can see the types of cybercrimes. First, identify theft and invasion of privacy. Second is internet fraud. 3, ATM fraud. Next is wire fraud. 5 is file sharing and piracy, counterfeiting and forgery, child pornography. Next is hacking. Next is computer viruses, denial of service attacks, spam steganography, and email hacking. And lastly is sabotage. So, some of cybercrimes carried out against computer or devices directly to damage or to disable them. Managing computer traits. To avoid or to manage computer viruses, spyware threats, hacker and predators, and phishing, you need to update your software frequently. Always be careful even if you have an antivirus software. Back up your computer regularly, then be aware of everything you download. And lastly, scan any new files you may download. So now let's proceed to the safety factor, the do's and don't of digital literacy. So first, let's take the do's to be the do's or what to do to be safe online. First, do discuss online rules with parent or guardian. Do tell a trusted adult about uncomfortable information. Then, do report cyberbullying or inappropriate online behavior. And lastly, do realize people online aren't always what they seem. And the don't factor, don't give out private information. Second, it is important to don't share password with anyone. Don't meet up with anyone you meet online to avoid stranger danger. And lastly is to don't visit risky and inappropriate websites.